Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I wanted to do something that was a little bit kind of whimsical, a little bit florally, and I wanted to use some butterflies. I had an idea in my head to create an art journal page using butterflies for a lady's hair. So what I did was I sat down at my computer and I searched my archive on my computer for suitable images, and of course I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of vintage butterflies images coming out my ears. So that wasn't a problem. And then I wanted to create a kit, a Digi Kit that I could offer to you guys. If you wanted to have a go at doing this, then you could as well. So this Digi Kit, it's a 3-page Digi Kit. And this is on the website now, and there is a clickable link in the description area below, so if you wanted to actually create along with me, then you can always pop me on hold and then go and get the kit and then come back and we can play together, or you can do it afterwards. It's up to you. So the 3-page kit consists of a background sheet of music. Now I've done this so it will fit an 8x8 art journal, because I'm going to be using my Dilutions 8x8 journal. But of course that will also fit one of the pages in the smaller Dilutions as well, the 5x7 one. So is it a 5x7? The smaller Dilutions journal as well, if you wanted to do that, it would work for that too. But what I also did was I just did one quote for this particular set, and it's "She lives and dreams in colour." But what I did is I did it twice for some strange reason. Why did I do it twice? There must have been a reason why. Oh, of course I did it twice. Of course, yes. The spelling. Look. So, in the UK, we spell the word colour with a U in it. In the US, it's without. So if that's one of the kind of considerations that you want to use the spelling for your particular place, then it's not going to look wrong. So that's the reason why I did two. So I've done it in a black out of cream. You've got white out of brown. And of course there's 3 different font styles as well. But if you didn't want any colour at all, then I've also done a set in white. So you've got American spellings and then you've got English spellings, if you like, in 3 different colours. Now also what I normally do is I do a composite image. So this is how I'm going to attach the butterflies to my lady. So there she is there, look, absolutely beautiful. Vintage image, of course. But I've also put a separate set, so you've got the image on the lady on her own, showing her hair, and then you've got the main cluster of butterflies which fits over the top. And then I've given you some butterflies that you can use dotted around if you wanted to do that. So the idea was to layer her on top of the music paper, put the cluster over her hair, and then have the other butterflies coming off. That was the vision for this art journal page. Like that, sort of. And then I can choose what or which one of those quotes I think works best with the image, with the font, and the colour. So first thing I need to do is I need to cut out my lady and the butterfly clusters. So what I'm going to do, rather than just cheat and do the whole cluster that way, I'm actually going to do it the long way today. So I'm going to cut my lady out, I'm going to cut this cluster out, and I'm going to cut a selection of these butterflies out. I'm not going to cut them all out, I'm only going to cut maybe 5 of those out. Definitely the 2 larger ones and some of the smaller ones. But I haven't decided on which quote I'm going to use yet. Depends on how the colours work on the page. So that's my next task. Cut that out, cut those out, and then when I've done that, I'll be back. Right, so I've cut all of my pieces out. So what I've done is I've cut them out and then I've gone around the edges just using my vintage photo distress marker with the brush tip, and I've just gone around the edge just to get rid of those raw white edges, just because it makes the cutting out look a little bit more If you're a bit wobbly, then it hides any kind of imperfections in the cutting out. So those are the bits. So the idea is to make the page kind of look like this. So got that there, and then we can put some of those butterflies flying off at an angle, kind of just like so, which kind of looks nice. Now, if I just stuck that down like that, you could call it a day really. You didn't really need to do anything else, but of course I need to add more colour to it. Haven't decided where the quote's going to go. I think the quote's going to go down here, where it's going to cover the join of where I'm going to stick her down. So, but what I want to do is just work on that background a little bit first. So the first thing I want to do is stick down this music sheet onto, oops, we nearly forgot that butterfly there. Stick this music sheet down onto this page here. Now, I could just spend a little bit of time just tearing that edge, just to give it a little bit more of a kind of decal edge, which I'm going to do. So this is just going to take me a couple of seconds to go all the way around. Or if you've got one of those tearing rulers that you can get like a decal edge on, or even a pair of pinking scissors, which actually I've got a pair just there. They're just lying there waiting to be used. Now, why didn't I think of that earlier? That's going to make it so much easier, isn't it? Just whip it around the edge. It's going to make it look a little bit almost like a fabric sample, isn't it? Cool idea. See, if these pinking shears hadn't been left out on my worktop, because I was working on a project earlier on in the week, which you probably saw actually in this week's vlog. It was created a little felt book to keep all my sewing needles in, and I ended up going back and pinking all the edges. But anyway, right, so we've got that kind of decal edge now, which helps to just kind of blend it a little bit. But what I want to do is I want to glue it down onto the page. Just get rid of that bit of scuzz. Schmutz, as it's called. Okay, let's get some of that matte medium. Try not to throw it everywhere. Last time I did that I got it all over my trousers because I went really quickly and it ended up splashing right the way across. Don't want to do that, so let's just get some of this on the back, just so we can kind of eliminate some of the wrinkles and bubbles. I'm not bothered about getting too many. If there's one or two wrinkles in there, that's okay, don't mind that. And then we'll just go over the edge like so. Work away from the outside in, just pop a little bit more on there because we're missing some up here. That'll do. And then I'll just whip over the rest. Just like that. Okay, drop that in some water and we just need to get that dried off before we do anything else. Well, there's a first time for everything. I think I managed to do that without getting a single bubble. Yeah. Haha, wonders will never cease. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I want to add in a little bit of texture. So I've got my Daisy stencil, and I think I want to add a little bit, just a little bit of texture. Not using the matte medium, using some texture paste so I can get the lid off. It's usually welded shut. There we go. And I've got a little spatula, and I'm just going to put a dab down there and I'm just going to scrape it off the page. just go in one direction, like so, and then lift it up. So I've got that there. I'm also going to add a little bit on this corner over here. And just lift my book up, turn it round, and then again just add a dab down, and then just go in one or two directions, and then pull up. And then just because I like to kind of carry it over a little bit, I'm going to do a little bit in a while once that's dry, because otherwise I'm going to squash it. And then just maybe a little bit down here. So put a dollop and then just pull. That'll do. That will do. Okay, so I need to get that cleaned off really quickly, because if I let that dry, it'll be a devil to get off. So do it while it's still wet and it'll be easy. So I shall leave that to dry, go and clean this, and then I'll be right back. That texture paste is pretty dry now, so I want to now add some colour onto the page. And I'm going to use my colour spritzers that I created using my pigment powders. So I've got a couple of new colours. I've got Cobalt and I can't remember what the other colour was. Violet, I think it was. I'm just trying to see if I can find it, because that's lime. I haven't labelled it up yet. So, because I'm just lax like that. Anyway, so a couple of new colours as well to go in there. But what I want to do is just add in some nice kind of greens into the background. So as you can see, I've just put some kitchen towels down and just propped them up so that any residue doesn't go all over the place. Don't know what that piece of embroidery floss is doing there. That's just come from nowhere. So I'm going to spritz that and then let that pool for a second. Just run it so it gets in between and catches on the edges, and then give it a quick blast. There's got a lot of drying time in this page, and of course the good thing about these pigments is if when they're dry they will die back a little bit in the colour vibrancy, but you can always add more colour. That's the beauty. Okay, so just before it completely dries, there are still some areas that are wet. You can see how that colour is kind of pulled around the edges of the stenciling, which gives you a really nice kind of halo effect. I'm just going to need a clip or something just to hold that in place, or just to hold that down. Just in that corner. There we go. So I don't want it to curl up too much. And I add some more colour. So I want to add some yellow to this. Some fairly strongish yellow. So I'm going to go for yellow ochre. So just give it a shake up just to get rid of some of that residue that's in the bottom of your bottle. See, all gone now. Doesn't take too long. And I'm going to spritz some yellow into there. And I could do with a clip in that corner too, just to weigh it down a little bit. That's it. That should do. I love using these spritzers because you never really know what you're going to get until it actually dries. that yellow ochre has now dried, and as you can see, because the yellow's made up of darker pigments as well, they've kind of separated, and you've got a little bit of darkness just kind of in there. Now, if you don't want that, then all you have to do is just get a piece of clean kitchen towel, get some clean water, and then just lightly reactivate the inks, and then just lift it. If it's just that little bit too dark for you, it's making you feel a little bit, no, it's a bit too much, then just take it back off again. Because we've used that matte medium, it has created a little bit of kind of like a resist, which is fine. So what I want to do now is just want to add in some warmer tones. So I've got orange here. So give that a shake and just add a little bit of warmth just into that there. So again, need to get that dry. Okay, so the orange is now dry. As you can see, you've got some nice kind of warmth coming into that now. But just to finish off, I just want to add just some tiny, tiny areas of red. Just to kind of increase that vibrancy a little bit. I'm not using a lot. Okay, so that red has kind of died back a little bit now. It's kind of sunk into the background a little bit. But because we're talking about living in colour and dreaming in colour, let's just add one last kind of little flourish, I think, in there. Let's just add just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of blue. Why not? So let's just see what happens. It's probably just going to go more green, but see, we've got a pool of it there. Yeah, it's all just gone green, 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 and more green. Which I kind of suspected anyway, but because it's turquoise. And it's like I've said before, what I love about using these kind of spritzy colours is you never really know what pattern you're going to get. And that blue has kind of reacted nicely just there. There's some hints of it in here. Not sure whether the camera's actually picking that up with the colour accuracy, but it looks nice from where I'm sitting. So the next thing I want to do is I've got a wet wipe here, and it's just a, see, I can squeeze it and there's not a lot coming out of it. So what I want to do is I've got this stencil here which is called Particles, and I'm just going to use this wet wipe just to kind of lift a little bit of the colour from some of those circles, just lightly. And when you do that, it's going to create a little bit of darkness around the edge of the circle. And you see, but leave, well, it's going to remove some of that colour from the middle, but just create that kind of edge circle. Which is perfect. Just adds that nice kind of like little bit of tonality in there. You can do it just with the smaller ones. Like that. And then just to carry on that kind of effect up here, just get that kind of muted effect over there. Don't forget we haven't put any matte medium on this side, so there's not going to be as much movement in the colour, but you will get a kind of ghosting. Looking good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So I just want to finish off by just drying that page up. Particles is the name of that stencil if I hadn't mentioned it already. Okay, all that is dry now. Absolutely happy with the kind of background effect that I'm getting on that, but I'm not happy about the way the page is started to curl up. That's fine. I can deal with that. Alright, so I'm now time to stick down my collage pieces. So I'm just going to use a diary glue stick for this. So we'll just start off with a little bit of scrap paper. So scratch paper over here, that'll do. And then I'll just go around. I could use PVA, well, just use whatever glue you like really. But I'm not going over it with any kind of liquid medium. So I'm going to put her about there. Make sure we've got enough room for the butterflies to sit, so she can probably go just a little bit further back, about there. That will do. So just give her a bit of a push down. She's not straight, is she? There we go. Sort of want her pretty straight. That will do it. Mr. Bentley's sat in his bed next to me here, and he's got his legs in the air. Let me see if I can catch him on camera quickly. Totally dead to the world, look. What a monkey. Okay, so that's glued. So now let's try and get her butterfly headdress. It's a tired boy. A long walk this morning. Okay, so now, so you could put it so you can see her ear and a little bit of a hair, or you could bring it further in. It doesn't really matter. I like it so you can just see a little bit of her ear there, I think. Okay, so that can go down. Oh, yes! Look at that. And then we have some of the larger butterflies. Butterfly, butterfly. So that can go, let's see, up there. It's a nice kind of pop of colour against that green. Then we'll bring this one down. And that can go about there. So you've got the orange bits of the tip of the butterfly there, and then the green, that purple there. And then let's just randomly stick the others down. And of course, I didn't cut out the antenna because, as I've been saying for the past 5 years while cutting out and doing projects like this, ain't nobody got time to be cutting out butterfly antennas. Nobody. Let's put that one over there. And then we've got this beautiful bright red one. Pick that up. If I can. I could do with a pair of tweezers. I'm going to put that up there, because that really pops against that green. And then the last one, like I said, there are others. I didn't cut them all out. And I did print the kit off more than once, just in case. So let's put that one. Let's just put that one in there so it looks like it's coming off. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So I'm liking the colours that are popping off that. Alright, so next thing we need to do then is I think I'm going to use this one here. So have I got a small cutting mat? I had a little A4 one, so yeah, there it is. It's probably got a curve on it now because it's been stood up. There's a bit of a wobble on it, look. Alright. Start off with a sharpish blade. I kind of like the one that's done in like the scripty font. It's a bit more free. Okay, I can hear Dougie barking in the background. Must be Hugo next door. See, we can put that just there. Though I think I like this one. It's a bit more scripty. It's a bit more free-flowing, like the art journal page. Sort of feels. And I feel that probably would work better. So just give that a quick trim out. Got a bit close to the letters at the top, but that's okay. Yeah, and I don't think it takes away any of the other colours. I think would have been a bit too stark white or too dark. So I like that one. So let's give that some colour. Not some colour, some glue. Right. There we go. Kind of blends a little bit. I like that. But I'm biased. Totally and utterly biased. Just get rid of that glue off there. There we go. In fact, don't need that at all anymore. So what I do want to do is just add a little bit of darkness around the edge of that. So I did have a suitable pen, but I could use pencil. No, let's use pen. Alright, so it's black. So because you've got the black of the writing, the black of the music, it's not going to look out of place. Just give it, there you go, a little bit of scribbly border, just to kind of make it stand out a little bit better. I like that. I like that a lot. But I also think it could do with just having a few white splatters in there. So why not? We're not doing anything else, are we? Yeah, let's just get a little mat. Where's my fan brush? There it is. Add a bit of water to it. Let's get some white gesso. Maybe a tad too much, but that's okay. I'm just going to put my hand. Now, because we've used water-based spritzers, some of this might actually take on the colour what's underneath. But I don't mind that. I want that on her face though. There we go. While it's still wet. Just going to be subtle. It's not going to be in your face, that. I'll quickly clean my hands off and that. Okay, so those white splatters are all kind of dry now. They haven't really taken on the colour of what's underneath, which is kind of fun. So subtle, going off that way, so it leads you that way. So I'm happy with that. Now, I thought about adding a border, but something's telling me not to. If I add a border all the way around the page, I'm going to lose that kind of etherealness as it floats off that way. So I'm not going to add a border at all. In fact, I'm going to call this page done, to be honest. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sign it and put today's date, if I can remember what it is. Oh dear me, it's right, well, this is, oh god, I've lost my calendar. Dear God, what is it? 26th? There you go. It's Wednesday the 26th. 26th of August 20. There we go. Completely lost track of time. So, there you go. I know it's taken a while, but hey ho, these things do sometimes. Like I said, backgrounds with those spritzer inks, you can get lots of different effects just by varying what you do with them. But I like that. I like it a lot. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create that art journal page. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of this video. So that's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Don't forget, the 3-page Digi download is available on my website right now, and there is a clickable link in the description area below this video too. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.